lunch. Mauritius has recently signed a double taxation agreement with Gabon, the 44th such agreement which the country has, and it joins various other countries on the African continent and elsewhere. Joining us now live from Port Louis in Mauritius is Richard Arlove, who's the Chief Executive of Abax Services. Richard, double taxation agreements are sometimes rather controversial. South Africa, for instance, is not happy with the one that it has with Mauritius at the moment, but that seems to have been renegotiated. What was the discussion with Gabon? If you could just give us a little bit of background, why would the signing of the agreement with Gabon this week be yet another step in the right direction?
Right. Hello, Africa. Well, in fact, the treaty with Gabon has been discussed over a few months, and discussions took place in June. You see, Mauritius as a financial center has the policy to see how we can facilitate investments into different African countries. And we see that Gabon is one of these countries which have got a substantial amount of resources where foreign direct investment is flowing. And I think Gabon was interested as well to see how Mauritius companies could invest into their country. So I think this is the background of the discussion for the treaty. I think one needs to remember that a treaty, a tax treaty, is in fact above all a means to help investments from one country to the other. And Mauritius has always been an investor into Africa. We are bilingual, so Gabon being a French-speaking country, and we are bilingual in English and French. So we believe that there's a number of facilitations that we can provide to help investments flow into Gabon.
So you've positioned yourself as the conduit for, initially it was Indian capital or Indian investment into Africa, but now spreading.
Yes, in fact, you can say we are a conduit into Africa. I would rather say that we are a financial center than a conduit. A conduit is sometimes seen as a place where money gets in and out, whereas Mauritius is a different place. Mauritius is a place where there is a real economy. We are not one of these small tax havens or financial centers where there's only financial services. Mauritius is an economy which has been there for many, many years. There are many banks. There is a lot of services which are provided out of Mauritius. And we have, over the years, since 1991, 1992, when India opened up its economy, we have been a major contributor of the foreign direct investment flowing into India from the world.
It's interesting.
A lot from America.
It's interesting that you make that point because reading the Indian media, there is still some question over Mauritius being used as, or being accused as a money laundering haven. Has that been put to bed yet?
Yeah, has opened up since 1991. And we can see the same trend of foreign investments wanting to flow into developing nations of Africa. So what we see is not only money or funds flowing from traditionally what we call the West and rich countries, but we're increasingly also seeing funds flowing from India into Africa. That is South Africa, that is different countries of Africa, whether it's East Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, everywhere. And to the extent that Mauritius can provide value-added services to these investments, then we position ourselves towards the Indian investors for investments into the continent.